Hey guys, it's Kelsey. I'm back with another scrapbooking process video, and this is for Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. So this is my Pinterest pin. I originally pinned this because I have this collection. It's the Wander collection by My Mind's Eye, and I really liked this page and thought maybe I could use the identical collection to do a page similar to this. But I realized that when I was looking through my Pinterest pin for something to do today, that the colors are actually kind of similar to the ones that are in Willow. And I actually have been hoarding this triangular cut file for a minute from Redefine Creative. So I figured I could probably use that pin for this collection and kind of kill two birds with one stone by being able to get this triangular cut file used up. So the first portion of this layout is sped up super fast because it's just me backing a cut file. Hopefully it won't take forever because it felt like it took forever when I was making it. But all I'm doing is trying to pick out a couple papers that I think will look nice matted on in this triangular print. I really wanted to use the 12 by 12 mustard from this collection as the background because I just think it's so pretty. And I'm kind of getting low on the papers from this collection, so that was one of the ones I've been hoarding, and so I figured it was time to get it used up. I was going through a couple of the scraps that I already had to figure out what papers I wanted to mat in this cut file, and I definitely wanted to use the specialty paper from Willow. I had a couple scraps of this butterfly vellum, so I tried to get as many of these triangles with that used up as I could, and then I pretty much used that as my template to figure out what the other colors were going to be. There's kind of a minty green butterfly and this maroony pink butterfly, so I really went for the maroon and the mint and this kind of emerald green as my other colors, and I think that looks so nice. There's so many jewel tones. I think it looks so pretty. This is a photo. This is actually the first photo we took when we went to Helen for our mountain camping little vacation after we got engaged. So that's another reason I really liked that I got the triangular cut file used up, because to me it was very mountain-like. So I was really happy that that kind of was on theme. But this photo is just at the Jumping Goat coffee shop where we stopped. Right before we got into Helen, we had stopped at the Normill Granary, and right next door is this cute little local coffee shop. They grow their own coffee. And we always want to pick up a drink from there. So we actually snagged a drink from here and then walked back over to the granary to drink it on the river behind the granary. So that was really nice. But I got a picture. They have this stuffed goat that's out front, and I always have to get a picture with him. And obviously because it's during COVID, they had a mask on the goat, which I thought was funny. So I definitely wanted to record that because that's something different that is usually not on the goat when we visit here. But all I'm doing is I'm using the same papers that I filled in the cut file with to do a bunch of different mats around my photo. I did a plain white mat to kind of reference the white of the cut file, and now I'm just going in with a bunch of these green and maroon papers to try and get some staggered fun layers around there. I really want this cut file to shine. It always takes me so long to back cut files that I really want those to be the star of the layouts I use them on. So my plan for this one is to pretty much just do some fun layers behind my photo using those same pattern papers, and then some minimalistic kind of embellishment because I really don't want to distract from all the work I did on this cut file. But you can see me just trying to stagger the layers and the colors, so I decided to do maroon next to the white mat, and I'm doing the minty green after that. And then I really want to get some more of this emerald green on here too. I love the emerald in this collection. But I'm trying to use a lot of the 6x8 paper pad from this collection, so I'm kind of trying to figure out ways to mat with these scraps. There we go. I just think the way those mats are offset is really fun. And then, do I do it now or in a minute? I definitely want to make some embellishment. I want to use some more of the sticker sheet for sure. But I have this really cute die cut set that's of a coffee cup, and I don't get to use it that often because it's very themey having a coffee cup. But whenever I do have a layout where I'm drinking coffee, I always want to use it. So you'll see that in a second too. I decide to make my own little embellishment using my diamond press die cuts. But I had a scrap of this green floral that has a lot of the same colors I'm already using, so I decided just to go ahead and cram it in these layers as well, just to add a little bit more of that layery detail. And same with this little scrap of this other paper. I just decided to cram it on there because more is more when it comes to layering, and I think that looks nice too. I'm going through my die cuts and my cut aparts to see what I might be able to squeeze on here. Pretty much just going through the green, green and anything maroon, but I don't think there's too much maroon stuff left over. And then here I'm going through all of those dies to try and find all the bits and pieces I need for the little coffee cup. I love using, I used to do this a ton, and I don't do it all that often anymore, but I love using a bunch of little dies to create my own embellishment cluster. It's just so smart because if you don't have like coordinating embellishments, you can just make your own with the same pattern papers. So that's all I'm trying to do here. I really want to make this really cute little coffee cup with the same papers I already have on the page. So I want to use this dark green and this maroon to kind of make it all cohesive. So I'm going to run all the bits and pieces through this diamond press really quick to try and get them all together. And then I'm going to have a couple of the accents, like the hand warmer, the piece that you hold that so you don't burn your fingers, I forget what that piece is called, and the lid I want to be white, just again so it kind of bounces off the white from the cut file. But I have this little cut apart piece, or not cut apart, that's a die cut, with all this different stripes of green, and I thought that'd be a really nice base for this little coffee cup to sit on. So you can see I already have that over there by my photo, and now I'm just trying to get the coffee cup put together, and I'm going to plan on that sitting on that little square die cut once I kind of get everything together. But I'm just going through the scraps I already have and trying to squeeze out all the pieces for this little coffee cup. So I have my base I decided to do in maroon, and then I'm cutting out the white pieces, and now I'm going and I'm cutting a piece of that emerald green that I want to be the main part of the cup. And I just ran that through a couple times because it doesn't cut out that piece, but it embosses it. So I was just trying to get the impression deep enough to where I could follow it easily with my scissors, because I wanted that a different color. So I'm just trying to place that over the top now. But you can see how it's coming together. It's so cute. I love this little die cut set. It always takes me a minute to put the pieces together, but it's always worth it in the end. So now I'm getting them glued down. I think the last piece I need to do is I need to trim the lid and put the lid on there. And then we should be done. And then I definitely want more than just that in the little cluster. So you'll see me kind of pull in some more scraps to layer up and make it more substantial. But I think that's such a cute little focal point, and I always love when I can make embellishment myself. It just seems to mean more, especially when you can use the same papers because it coordinates so well already. But I definitely do want to use more of the sticker sheet too, because we're getting, like I said, towards the end of this month, and I still have quite a bit on the sticker sheet. I've used a decent bit, but I definitely don't want to make I definitely, as I keep going, want to get at least a couple stickers used up on every page. But there's my little coffee cup, and now I'm pulling in a couple more scraps. I didn't incorporate that minty green in my coffee cup, so I decided to use that pattern paper to cut a little banner, and that would sit behind that coffee cup as well. So I'm just trying to stagger and make this little cluster down here. But I think that little banner looks super cute. And then once I get all that together, you can see there's a lot of green. And even though I originally used the maroon as the base for this coffee cup, you don't see too much of the maroon in the final product. So I did decide to go back and use some more of that maroon color to do a double banner to sit behind all of this, just so that color is pulled in a little more. But I think that looks super cute, and now I'm going in with the maroon to get another banner. And then once I added this maroon banner at the bottom, I kind of felt like I wanted some of that maroon at the top too. So I do cut a piece to go at the top as well, just so it looks like it's one big banner going behind all of those layers. But I think now that cluster down there looks very substantial. It has a nice base to sit on and it looks very cohesive. So I think that looks super sweet. I'm going to get all of that glued down. And then I can't remember if I go for my title next or the sticker sheet or what. I definitely want to do a little bit of journaling on here just because this is the only page from the Jumping Goat Coffee, and I want to make sure I note that we went here and then we went back to the granary to drink the coffee. But I went ahead and glued down the cut file because I really like the way that was positioned. And now I'm going to go ahead and glue down all of these layers here. I'm getting towards the end of this paper pad, so I'm not gutting as much just because I feel like I have enough left over to do the amount of pages I planned, and any more that I gut might just be wasted extras. But there's this butterfly on this cut apart that I really wanted to incorporate since I did use that butterfly vellum. I really wanted there to be a butterfly somewhere on here through the embellishment as well. So I'm just trimming out this green minty butterfly, and that's going to be up there. I'm going to pop it up on some foam and have that sitting on that maroon triangle just for a little bit of embellishment. And I really like that because it pulls more of that green out, but it also references that butterfly vellum, which I really like. So I'm just going to pop that up on some foam, and then here's where I decided to go ahead and stretch that maroon banner up to the top of my picture too, just so that looks a little bit more substantial. There we go. And this is pretty much my design. I just need to do some finishing touches now. I'm looking at my sticker sheet to see what I have. There is the sticker that says timeout, and a lot of the stickers I'm planning on using are kind of like refresh, replenish, rest up, kind of like this was our pit stop before we got to our camp set and had to set everything up. So I really liked that as my title, and it fit perfectly up there in the open yellow area above my photo. And then I just decided to use some of the word stickers to replicate that theme. So I'm just pulling out all of the stickers that are already in my color scheme and trying to set those up in the open part of the photo to get those used up too. But that's pretty much it. I do want to use that last set of enamel dots in this collection are the coppery ones, and I don't know why I've been avoiding using them. I've used all the other enamel dots except for those coppery ones, but I think they look super cool, so I'm going to go ahead and get all of those used up on this layout too. So I'm just going to do 2 little clusters of 3, and then I'm going to sprinkle the other 3 or the other 4 around my word stickers there. So you'll see that's what I'm doing. So the enamel dots kind of create this diagonal trickle across the page, but that's pretty much it. So I think the close-ups are coming up here in a minute. I really liked how my inspiration kind of started from one thing and then turned into a different thing, but I can still see clearly where the inspiration started from, which is always fun. Make sure you check out everyone else playing along with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. I'll link them below. All I'm doing now is adding a tiny bit of journaling in my white. It says we had to stop at Jumping Goat Coffee while we were at the granary, and that's all the detail I really needed. So I'm just getting that stenciled in. But yeah, pretty easy pages. Took a while to get the cut file back, but after the cut file was back, it came together pretty quickly. But here are the close-ups. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.